Their guy, you love to see it. All right, Steph Curry. I think we all understand, just a matter of time, and the time was going to be tonight in the Garden that he would pass Ray Allen. And the man that Ray Allen passed, Reggie Miller, in the building. Of course, Pop is there too, and Dad made more than 1,200 threes in his NBA career. But you're talking about some guys that can flat fill it. Spike, Nick Royalty there, getting a little snapshot to remember the evening by. All the stars were out early on. Curry, well, that's good. Building roars its approval. He ties Ray Allen for the most threes made all time. A few minutes later, Curry, that's not the look of a normal Curry three, kind of backing up a little bit, but you see the joy there. Kind of a primal roar. Ray Allen, Reggie, enjoying the moment. So too are his folks in the building as he stands alone atop the mountaintop. His coach could shoot it a little bit too. And the embraces all around, the emotion of the moment. Game's just starting, so you got to try to, I would guess, process it, enjoy it, and then do your best to get right back into the mode of competing. Here's how Draymond reacted.
You too, boy. Yes, sir. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Way to work, boy. That's great. Greatness. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Put that to bed. That's what the people came to see. They came to see history. Now there's a ball game, and it's tied at 54s. What a look. Curry, Jordan Poole, who punches that one home. Little look away. In transition, the goggles from Draymond. On the other end, Julius Randle, regulate the left hand off the window with the kind roll. John Stewart, Pete Davis is side by side. Steve's obsessed with Pete. Randle at 31. There's Wiggins, a three. Curry, off-balance bank. Then Iguodala. Curry, all three of these, and the Warriors would lead it by 7 heading into the final 12 minutes. Good ball movement here. They pass it well. Damian Lee gets the look. And Curry's the one celebrating on the bench. As you saw the Duke stars celebrating a little bit earlier. Curry's back out on the floor to do his thing one more time. Warriors get the victory. Some thoughts when it's over, beginning with Curry, man of the moment.
It was a beautiful, I'll call it ending to this last week, and the build up to getting this number, and it was a special atmosphere. I knew the Garden would deliver in terms of just how iconic this place is, but I can't say it enough. I appreciate so much the way the fans embraced the moment with me and let me just kind of get lost in it. And it was just a special moment for sure that I appreciate and I'll remember for the rest of my life.
The aftermath was more emotional than I expected it to be. You know, it was just an outpouring of love and support for Steph from seemingly everybody in the building. So beautiful, beautiful moment.
I think the only thing missing for me is Clay not being here. You know, with just the road traveled to get here, Clay was a huge part of that. So, you know, if anything could have been different, it was that.
Well, let's do your research on some of the numbers that got us to this mark. Curry's threes have come from an average of 25 feet. Multiply that by nearly 3,000. That's over 76,000 feet of threes. Line that up, you got 14 miles. That's longer than the distance from Oracle to Chase as the crow flies. Tonight, Curry hit his 100th three against the Knicks, who become the first Eastern Conference team he's reached the century mark against. Overall, he's hit at least 100 threes against 14 different franchises, including every opponent in the West except the Spurs. And perhaps most impressively, at least 3 three-pointers in 65% of his games played. All-time leader in games with at least 3, with at least 4, and on, all the way up to the most games with 12 threes. Outside of his new home, Chase Center, Curry's hit more threes per game at Madison Square Garden than any other road venue. There's just something about that building. You go back to the days when it was Jordan. I don't care who you are, man. And you can go way back into the olden days if you like. But there's something about the city, something about their love of basketball. They call it the most famous arena in the game for a reason. Unsurprisingly, Curry owns the top 3 spots for the most threes per game at a single venue. And Stephen Curry once again joins the show. Stephen, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it. You've been really kind through the years and really gracious. And on this night, if you've got a scale in front of you, and on one side of the scale we've got the joy of the moment, and on the other side we got the relief that you don't have to talk about it anymore. You don't have to try to get to the mark. Which way is that scale tilting right now?
It's about even. I think the build-up this whole last week, since we left our last home game thinking I could make 16 threes in the game and break both records, and going into every arena and the other team knowing what the situation is and trying to slow it down. It was a long week for sure, and but the joy of just this atmosphere, the celebration of that moment, I'm so humbled that the Garden received it the way they did. The fans were just amazing. They let me have that moment and just get lost in it. And there's a lot of emotion for sure, because I know how much work's gone into this, and just dreaming big from the time I first picked up a basketball. So it's a special one for sure.
Look, I get that 16 was a bit aggressive, but it's not out of the realm. Like, I understand if the other team feels like you weren't saying you were going to do it, but I mean, I've seen nights where it feels like it's not ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, when there's nights, and you've had them, right, where the bucket looks like a proverbial ocean, that's doable, isn't it?
It is, and it's funny because that game, like I think I missed my first 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But they were all shots I'd take normally, even if I wasn't chasing the record and all that. And that's where just the anxiousness. Every time I took a shot, everybody knew that it was one closer to the record. So I felt that the last 4 games, and it's. I wouldn't trade that journey and the chase for anything, but for it to build up tonight at the Garden, in front of Reggie, in front of Ray, my family, like it was a dream come true for sure.
Yeah, I mean, cosmically, I don't know how it could have been better. You said the other night that once you get over the mountaintop, it's just a matter of how far you want to push it. And I think that as you stand on the mountaintop, it certainly invites reflection, right? Whether it's going back to when you were a kid or when you started in the league or just any moment along the way. I mean, as it just happened, but as we're talking and you think about the mountaintop, what does it represent, Steph?
I mean, it's everything. It's my identity in basketball in terms of how I play the game and how I've approached it, and again, the work that's gone into it. Like, I kind of am still, thinking a little crazy. I can get better, but you understand what's gone into rep after rep after rep every offseason trying to get better. The understanding that Reggie and Ray for me were the icons of shooting the basketball, obviously along with my dad. But to be out there on the court and have those guys supporting me and cheering me on and enjoying the moment with me, like it's hard to really put into words. And you see the polished product out there, but the reps and that's gone into it over the course of the journey, and knowing how many teammates have been a part of this as well. Somebody's got set screens for me, somebody got them the ball, and there's been a lot of people that have filled in those roles for me as well. So hopefully they can celebrate this as well.
I'm glad you said get better. I had this jotted down. I know how much you love the game of golf. In my career, I met a guy named Tiger Woods when he was a freshman at Stanford. And Steph, if I had $1 for every time he told me I just am trying to get better each and every day, I'd be really, really rich. And I get it on some level, but I don't know how many times I told him, like, how much better can you get? And when it comes to shooting a basketball, with you, it's truly an art form. So what is there to get better at?
I mean, everything. You see how defenses are evolving and trying to take that away from me and a lot of the attention that you get. And I think this record also kind of resembles, the longevity of what I've been trying to do. And when you balance volume and efficiency, for me, there's always a high standard that I set for myself. And if I can keep pushing that envelope, knowing that I'm gonna get more and more attention, and the defense are gonna continue to try to take that away, that's part of that cat mouse game. So I got a lot of years left to do it, and we'll see what happens.
I think about the evolution of the game and the role you've played in it is obvious. But if you think about how your game has evolved over the years, in what way do you feel, what are you most proud of in terms of how your game personally has evolved at this level?
I mean, just trying to be as well-rounded as possible. Like, greatest shooter of all time. Like, that's amazing, and this record's amazing. But everything that comes with it, and you're trying to win basketball games at the end of the day. Like, there's an art form and there's entertainment and all of that, but you also have to win, and that's what makes it all work. So, still on that pursuit, obviously, and trying to get back to the mountaintop in terms of winning championships. But owning this style of play and continue to push the narrative and the envelope on what's possible. I'm proud of everything that goes into that. So, like I said, I'm gonna go back to this moment, over and over and over again, and understand how special it was. But a lot more left to do, and that's such a dope thing to say and really believe in terms of where I'm at in my career.
And that's where I want to close. You're in a city where the night is still young, and I don't intend to keep you all night. But when you talked about the mountaintop and you said it's just a matter of how far you want to push it, I'm a very visual person, Stephen, and I think about this wide open vista in front of you, and as a blank canvas, man, there's nobody left to chase. So where is it you want to go from here in this game?
I mean, like I said, I think I said last year, All-Star break, I don't have nothing to prove, but I got a lot to accomplish, and that's something that who knows what you fill in the blank with, but I still love the game. I still have joy. I still put the work in. I have amazing teammates that I get to play with, and who knows, like, when it comes to shooting the ball, it's the same thing. Like, nobody ever thought 400 threes in a season was possible. How fast that I got to 29.74. Who knows? It's not for me to try to predict. It's just to live it out, and hopefully that'll mean a lot when it's all said and done.
Well, it means a lot that